Hello everyone, it's Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm just going to make a card for fun. No particular purpose, but just because. And I'll leave it up to you. And I'm going to leave the card blank for myself as well to use for any occasion I see fit. So I'm going to be using the gorgeous Winter Woods stamp set. I bought this a little while ago and I haven't had a chance to use it, but I have an idea in my head and I hope it works out. So this is going to be on the fly. All my videos generally are on the fly if you're new to my channel. Sometimes I have a clear idea, sometimes I have somewhat of an idea and I hope it works out. So we'll work on this together. So I'm using the Winterwood stamp set and I'm using this gorgeous image here. I love these trees. And I'm using Oldie But Goodies, the Woodland textured embossing folder. Love this. This is going to be gorgeous, and the Softly Falling embossing folder as well. So we'll get started on this project. Today I am using Night of Navy cardstock. This is half an A4 and then I scored it in half again. So I'm just going to burnish that score line that I have pre-done to this video just to save some time. So I'm just going to burnish that with you. And I love the bone folder. The bone folder is fantastic for nice, crisp, as you can see, folds. So if you're new to paper crafting, this is just professional, lovely, and just gorgeous. I love it. You will need a layering piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I've cut it just below, smaller than the this is an A6 card front. We're going to be embossing that, but I'll be doing that later. And I've got a scrap piece of Whisper White as well. So we will get started. Lately I have been obsessed with ink blending. I absolutely love the effects that you can do. So I'm going to show you a really cool trick today with ink blending as well. Now I use the Ranger ink blending tool. This is, you can find this at any craft store anywhere in Australia, or you can buy that overseas. I just find ink blending a lot easier when I use this because I've got carpal tunnel in both of my hands, and I find when I grip on something really small, my hands tend to hurt and they get numb, and you find it very uncomfortable to craft. So for me, this is a must. But you can use your sponges or sponge daubers. I prefer to use these. That's my personal preference. No right or wrong in this. So the colours we'll be ink blending with today are about 4 colours. I'll be using Night of Navy, Balmy Blue, Pumpkin Pie, and Gorgeous Grape. So I'll get started with the Balmy Blue. Okay, and I'm just going to go off the side and then just start blending. I'm just going to grab that image there from the Winterwood stamp set. That's this stamp set over here. And I'm going to be using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I'll ink that upside down. I find that it's much easier to ink that upside down. Oops! Luckily I've got it on the craft sheet. I can just wipe that off. Okay. And so now I'm going to stamp that towards here. Now I'm just going to leave that on there for just a couple of seconds to make sure that the ink transfers, and then check that out. Isn't that gorgeous? Love, love, love. Love that. All right, I'm just going to wipe this down, and then I'm going to take off my craft sheet and we're going to do some embossing. Fun, fun, fun. All right, just make sure I've wiped everything off. Okay. All right, now I'm going to bring up my big shot. Okay, and for that panel piece that we're going to layer on top of this, I'm going to get out the Woodland textured embossing folder, and the right way up, in case you're wondering what the right way up for this folder is how the Sizzix sign is. So that's how I usually position my cardstocks. So I'll just put that towards the middle here. Make sure it's lined up kind of straight. And I'll just bring in my Big Shot platform. Got a thin die adapter. Pop this down the bottom. Just put that there. And crank that through. Okay. And now that's beautifully embossed. Isn't that gorgeous? I will leave that over here. I love that. Then the next thing I'm going to do is, let me think now, just hang on a second. Okay, I'm going to cut a piece of Whisper White cardstock and I'm just going to do a strip. Now I'm going to be showing you a couple of contraband product. Sorry to say it, but I not only work with Stampin' Up things, but I also like working with other product as well. And if there's a gap that I find, then I'll be using that product. So I want to do like a hillside. Oh, where is it? A hillside with that to put underneath here. But I really like, I'm going to be using today the Dynamics, what are they called? Stitched oval stacks. And I'm going to use the largest one. Now the reason why I'm using these stacks, and they're stitched as well, just like the Stampin' Up ones, but this is a lot bigger for me. So, and I want to use that and take up that whole section right there. So that's why I'm using that. So I'll be using that today. And I really like the Lawn Fawn stitched hillside borders as well. And the border I'm going to be using today is this one over here. So that is why I'll be using that today. But feel free to use whatever product you wish. There's no right or wrong. And as always with crafting, you know, all products kind of complement each other. So I'm going to create a little border with this stitch-shaped hillside framelit there, the border framelit. And let's just see if this will work. emboss this with the Softly Falling embossing folder. And I'm going to have the ones with the lots of dots towards the bottom and that one up the top there. So I'm going to emboss the whole piece. And I'm going to show you a trick that I haven't done for years, but it seems like a lot of fun, so I'd like to do it. All right, so we've got that there. Okay, now, oops, let's take this off. This is now embossed and it looks really lovely. I love that. And whilst I'm at it, I'm going to emboss all of these little bits and pieces as well, and I'm going to have them embossed down the bottom. Just so, yeah. And I pop this through as well. Just work with me. I'll figure it out in a minute. All right, so I'm just going to emboss those with the embossing folder as well, my stitched borders. Okay. Get rid of that. So now we have those embossed hillsides down here. All right, now put this away for just a moment. With this nicely embossed sheet of cardstock there, I'm going to bring in a sanding block. I've had this in my possession for quite a few years. So it's just a very fine sanding block. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape off very gently all of the ink. So now I'm just rubbing it over the top very, very gently. And so now I have what looks like snow. So what I've done was I've taken off a very small layer of ink and paper, sanded that off, and it looks like we've got snow. And I think that turned out just beautiful. I really love this. And with this, I think that turns out turns out really lovely. I love that. I'll just see if I'll use this part. I think that turned out really pretty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick these two pieces together just to keep it in place. And then I'm going to add my, I think I'll stick that there. I have another piece of painter's tape here, just to keep that hillside in place. And then I am going to get another piece of painter's tape, and I'm going to run that through the Big Shot, and let's see how that turned out, okay? So I think in a weird way, if that makes any sense, I don't know, I don't even know if it makes sense, but I'll use the thin die adapter. I'll put my cutting plate underneath and just make sure everything stays in place exactly where I'd like to cut it. And then I'm going to put that right through. Because I'm sure all of you out there, not just me, has a variety of product on hand. And, you know, I'd like to take advantage of what I have. And if you happen to have this product, then you can use it too, and you can combine it with your Stampin' Up stuff or whatever you wish. That's the beauty of creating, is that you can create whatever you like. So I'm going to keep this because this would make a nice frame with something else as well, so don't throw these away. And yeah, so that's all done. And I like that it's a large oval, and that's the reason why I'm using this. So I bring back my my card, and we'll put this together. Now I forgot to bring out my glue, so bear with me and I'll bring it back. Okay, so I've just got my PVA glue. You can use whatever glue you like, and I'm just going to put some glue right on the edges here, and I'll stick that directly down to my cardstock. This is Night of Navy. Put that right down there. Oops, a bit too much squished out. But I think that turned out really pretty. I love that. Now, I cut that out earlier, and it's still embossed beautifully. So I'm just going to use this now and stick it down onto my oval there. And it has the stitching, so it's cut in the way that I, you know, it all connects together. So it's all the same. So, as you can see all that. You can see that embossing. Isn't that beautiful? And I love sanding that over the top. I think that made it really nice. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this up onto dimensionals, and then our card is done. So just grab my dimensionals. No, this is for the edges. I'll use these edges another time. Just grab my other packet. And I'll just stick that all on there. And I might give this to my dad for his birthday because he loves winter, autumn themed landscapes and things. So, and he loves trees. So this will probably be my dad's birthday card, I think. Just for something different. So I'll just take off all the backings. And I like combining products, so if I was able to help you create something a little bit different today, I'm really happy to do that. So we've got our card base here. We're going to stick this right on there, and I'll just angle it towards the middle. And let's see where it is. Right there. And my father likes the snow too. When he was young, he actually went to school in Switzerland. So that was pretty awesome. And I thought, you know what, I'll give him like a nice wintry evening look of the card. So that's my card for today. I hope you like it. Something a little different. And, you know, with your embossing folders, if you do some ink blending in the background, you can grab a little sanding block, or you can use an emery board or anything like that, and you can just really gently, you can scrape off the colour and a bit of the ink, and it just gives you this illusion of snow. Or you can use that to distress another pattern on a cardstock. So I think it's a neat trick to use, and I hope you like today's card. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave me a question below this video, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. As always, these products can be purchased through my online store, just minus the Lawn Fawn Stitched Hillside and the My Favourite Things Dynamic Stacks. These are my personal stash, but if you have them, you can use them on this card as well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it today, and I love the stitching in the background, and to see it all just connects together. Love it. Have a wonderful day. As I said, all of these products can be purchased through my online store at pepperlyrose.stampinup.net. And yeah, I hope you've learned something new today with this sanding. I haven't done it for quite a few years, and I thought it was fun to revisit this technique again. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.